The SR-38, 38 Special, 357 Magnum. Let's check it out. Guys, one thing that I really enjoy doing is bringing to you guns that are a little bit obscure or new to the market, and whether it's made here in the US or imported from another country. Today we're going to be taking a look at the SR-38. This is a 38 Special 357 Magnum revolver. It's all steel frame. It's a solid handgun, and it was a lot of fun at the range. But this gun is made by Sarsilmaz and imported by TR Imports out of Texas. Sarsilmaz is the largest gun manufacturer in Turkey, and they've been in business since 1880s. Now, one of the funny things about the name SR-38 is it kind of leads you to believe that this is a 38 Special revolver only. And there are a lot of imported revolvers that are only 38 Special. In fact, I just did a review on the Rock Island Armory, one of their revolvers, and it was just 38. There were a lot of comments saying they wished it was in 357 Magnum as well. Now, of course, we want to make sure the gun isn't loaded, so we're just going to open it up, check it, and it is empty. Now, guys, I want to talk a little bit about some of the basics of a revolver. There are a lot of people that watch this channel that have no idea. They're just learning. And so it's really important to kind of cover those things. Now, this is a 6-shot revolver, and as you can look, it has 6 places to put your rounds in. It is a double single action, and that means that we can go double action, which means just pull the trigger, and you can see the hammer comes back and it fires the handgun. Then we go to single action, we can just pull the hammer back and then fire with a much less trigger pull. Typically, if people are shooting for accuracy, that's what they'll do. They'll pull their hammer back and they'll fire it. It's just a real soft, crisp trigger. And that's no different with this pistol. In fact, the trigger pull on this handgun consistently was 4 pounds, 8 ounces. I mean, every time I pulled my Lyman trigger gauge out. The double action, though, which is this smooth, and you can see how smooth it is. There's no creep, there's no feel, but just smoothness all the way back, and it allows for better accuracy. But this trigger pull is about 12 pounds. I checked it. In fact, my Lyman trigger gauge goes up to 12 pounds and it was over. So it kind of surprised me that the trigger pull was that heavy, and yet I was able to get pretty decent shots. And we'll look at the accuracy in just a little bit. This is an all steel frame. It does have a parkerized finish to it. They do offer a stainless steel model. I think originally they were nickel plated, but these are going to be stainless steel. This has a very heavy barrel. It's not the pencil thin barrel. It has a nice shroud to it. This gun is made to shoot 357 Magnum easily. And that's one of the things I found out at the range. Shooting 357 was a pleasure to shoot. The grip is a rubber grip, and it's very comfortable, very similar to me to ergo grips. It just has a nice, good, or Hogue grips. Really nice, good, solid feel to it. It doesn't feel cheap. It's got some really cool designs in it. The finger grooves actually help. It just molds to my hand, at least. I really like this grip. The trigger pull is easy to get to. My hands are about medium size, and yet I've got plenty of room to get a hold of that trigger. Now, I wanted to show the mainspring, and you can see it's the standard leaf spring. It has one of the little catches here for the screw. It's threaded, and then you have a flathead screw that goes in here. It's a little bit different than the Model 10. I'm not really sure if any aftermarket grips fit on here, but I just wanted to kind of show how this works. Now, one big thing about this revolver is the noticeable absence of YouTube reviews. There's a few that were at SHOT Show with people just shooting, but there's no real details about this handgun other than what you can find from different sources online. The barrel is cold hammer forged. The frame is a forged steel frame. So these are made to really last. They're not alloy, they're not lightweight, they're definitely solidly built. In fact, this pistol weighs 39 ounces. That's just an ounce less than 2.5 pounds. So it's a very hefty pistol. But when you're shooting .357 Magnum, especially full house loads, you'll be glad to have that extra weight. It does come in this 4-inch barrel. They also offer a 6-inch barrel, and then Sarsilmaz has a 2.5-inch barrel. I didn't see those on the TR Imports website. Here's the cylinder latch. Push it forward, and it brings the cylinder right out. Very smooth action. Overall, the pistol is finely made. I mean, there's no real tooling marks on here except for the marks that I've put on it. But it just feels good. The crane is solid. Good lockup. Very little play in the cylinder. Of course, you've got your ejection rod covered with this shroud. But you can see how nice this is. In fact, my Model 10 bull barrel is actually the same size as the width of this barrel. It has fully adjustable rear sights for windage and elevation. You just turn the screw for elevation. You just turn this to get your windage. And then we have a nice front blade. The contrast is easy to see. This is obviously removable with these 2 screws. I guess if you needed to clean up underneath. Now I'm going to just demonstrate shooting this in double action first. You see that you have the long trigger pull. It brings the hammer back each time you fire. When you go to single action, pulling that hammer back, one of the problems is you're going to adjust your grip somewhat to pull the hammer back. It is easier to get tight groups. You can aim a little better. It's got that crisp snap. But definitely with double action, if you really train with that, you'll get to where you can fire that is accurate if you just really take time to master it. All your competitive shooters that use revolvers go in double action. They don't even think about the single action. It takes away time. Okay, here we have a lineup of .38 Special and .357 Magnum. Here on the end we have the Leadville. This is from Freedom Munitions. It's a 125 grain. This is made just for cowboy action. It's a 800 feet per second. It's just really kind of just for fun. Then we have the Freedom Munitions XTP. This is the 158 grain. This is a good self-defense round. It's going about 835 feet per second. It's producing 253 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. Then we have the Winchester Jacketed Hollow Point 110 grain. It's going 1,295 feet per second. So you've got a considerable increase. And it's producing 410 foot-pounds of pressure at the muzzle. And then the Winchester Silver Tips 145 grain. It's going 1,290 feet per second and producing 535 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. So an excellent self-defense round. But the great thing is with .38 Specials is they've produced a number of different rounds that will do very well. You can do plus P's, which I don't really have here, but this XTP 158 grain is getting close to plus P rating. The recoil is considerably greater with .357 Magnum over .38 Special. So a lot of times people like to train with .38 and then carry .357s, but I recommend that you train with .357 Magnum as well. But the cost is a lot less for your .38 Specials. I want to thank Freedom Munitions for sponsoring the .38 Special ammo. They do offer a 10% suits discount with any order at freedommunitions.com. Now here I was shooting that first group single action, and you're pulling the hammer back. You kind of know a little more when to expect, when that trigger is going to actually break. And you can see how accurate it was. Now with this double action, the first round, it was a little bit of a spread because there's that longer trigger pull and you're anticipating as you're pulling it. But then I decided to shoot a second group for the double action. And you can see that once I was just accustomed to the difference, I was able to get a real tight group. It's one of the reasons why it's really important, if you have a revolver, is not to shoot it single action all the time, because chances are in a self-defense situation it's going to be double action, and you need to be able to practice to get those on target. Now at the range I had a number of different ammo choices, but of course I shot a lot of 38 Special, mainly just to get a good feel for the gun and how it fires. The double action trigger pull is definitely heavy. It's 12 pounds. That's what my gauge is, the top of what my gauge will record, and it went over. But it's super smooth. We have a mixed bag here of some Winchester silver tips. This is 357 Magnum, and then we have just some jacketed hollow points, and we're going to try those out. Now we're going to try the Winchester silver tips. Woo! Man, that was a lot more power. In 357 Magnum, because of the steel frame, you had a nice push. You felt the 357 power, but it was super smooth to shoot. I really enjoyed shooting the 357 Magnum, especially the silver tips from Winchester. Those things have some power to them, and it was really cool to be able to fire those rounds. I mean, you felt like that you had some power in your hands, but it wasn't going to get away from you. With a 38, it's really easy to shoot. It has a nice smooth feel to it, of course, with the all-steel frame. This gun, again, was a real joy to shoot at the range. The rubber grips definitely helped, and it just molds around to your hand. In fact, even if I could get aftermarket grips, I would leave this grip on here because it's just that comfortable. It's almost like a hoe grip. It just really has a good quality feel to it. And of course, with the way this thing's beefed up, it'll last you a long time. In fact, from what I understand, Sarsilmaz has tested these at 25,000 rounds without any kind of issues. And with revolvers, with a lot of the gases that escape in these areas, that can be problems. But with this gun, I think it's actually built for much more than that. And I want to thank ShootSteel.com for providing the music, and you get a 10% discount using Suit00 at checkout. Now let's talk about a little bit of practical use for the pistol. Definitely, having a revolver in your collection, this is a great way to get into it without spending $700-800 bucks. And this is a great gun to carry on the trail. If you're camping, hiking, with the parkerized finish, you're going to get some corrosion resistance. And it's just a solid gun, especially for snake shot, for self-defense with your 357 Magnum, or you can go with 38. It just makes a nice, great gun to have on your side. And you can hunt with it as well. Again, it does come in a 4-inch and a 6-inch barrel, so if you want to get the 6-inch for hunting, that would be a good choice. As far as concealed carry, this is a heavy gun. It's a large gun. I'd consider this more on your side if you're going to open carry, but that's pretty much what I would relegate this gun to. Now, as far as pros and cons go, it's a revolver. It's good and solid. One of the things is that you pull the trigger, it's going to go bang. I mean, it's traditionally been a very reliable source for self-defense. It's got a solid frame to it, so firing even full house Magnum loads, you're not going to have any problems with recoil. And then again, you can go down to 38. The ammo choices are endless. I mean, there are so many different choices in 38 Special and 357 Magnum, more than I could possibly list. And there's a lot of specialty self-defense loads as well. The forged steel frame is built solid. The cold hammer forged barrel is just top-notch. It will last a long time. You've got adjustable sights. The grip is really ergonomic and soft and good quality. The firearm overall is in good quality. No, it's not a Colt or a Ruger or a Smith as far as really fine quality, but it's still, for its price, is a top-notch choice. And a big pro is the price. I've seen them around the $360 range all the way down to about $325. So for a good quality 357 all steel frame revolver that is smooth and just functions very well and is accurate, that is a super good price. You're going to pay double that in a lot of places for a comparable US made revolver. Am I recommending this over a Smith & Wesson, a Ruger, or a Colt? No, I think that they are really fine quality handguns that just have premium features to them, and it's reflected in the price. Would I compare this to a Taurus? Yes, I think this is just as solid, if not better, than a Taurus revolver. As far as cons go, you're not going to have a lot of aftermarket support with your grips. I think that your holster choices are not going to be too difficult, but you will have to look a little bit for a holster. As far as parts availability, that could also be a little bit of a problem, but TR Imports will definitely take care of any issues you have with the firearm. But that is something to consider when buying an imported handgun. Now guys, this is a Turkish firearm, and there will be a lot of comments about the connection with terrorism and the Turkish government, and why I'm promoting this gun. Guys, this is a gun channel. And I review guns. In fact, I just did a review on the Vepr from Russia, which the U.S. just put sanctions against. I've done reviews on the Egyptian Hellline. I've done reviews on Nazi Germany era guns. And so am I not able now to even bring a Civil War handgun or rifle to you to review that's Confederate? I mean, where does it stop? So here's the deal, guys. If it's a gun, I'm going to review it. Am I promoting or condoning whatever about this firearm? No. But one of the things we need to remember is Sarsilmaz is a privately owned company, and they have no connection necessarily with what the government of Turkey does. So this channel is going to continue to review guns no matter where they're from. Whether you buy them or not, that's your choice. So you can go to trimports.com and check out a lot of different unusual design pistols. In fact, I was very surprised at some of the offerings that are coming in, some really cool designs, and these guys are just really bringing in some neat stuff. So check them out, and I want to thank them for sending the SR-38 for this test and evaluation. It's always great to have people that get behind the YouTube gun community. And also, if you want to support the Suits channel, you can go to patreon.com/Suits. I'll have the link down below. And if you want Suits gear, you can go to teespring.com/stores/Suits00 and be a Team Suits Minuteman. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. So we're going to be looking at the Sarsilmaz, and I don't want to say that right at the freaking beginning of the video, do I? No, I don't. The recoil is considerably greater with 357 Magnum. The recoil is, which I've done reviews on one of their guns, and either or. The SA-38, it's not even the SA, it's the SR, and I'm just, it gives us a whole new look at some of the processes that go on in the world of technology. Nothing better than a little Russian roulette with rubber dummy. Nope, got lucky. There we go. That'll fix him.